Hey, it's Gino here from Real Everyday English. This week I'm going to be teaching you some vocabulary to do with a very concerning topic, which is coronavirus or the COVID-19 outbreak. Like I said, it's a very worrying topic, but still at the same time, I think that people may benefit from knowing some of these key phrases to help you in your conversations when you are talking to people about this situation that we find ourselves in at the moment. So without any further ado, let's do this. Happy Sunday and welcome back to the channel. So before we get started on this week's topic, I want to give you some information or an update on the current situation in the UK that we find ourselves in at this moment in time. So there have currently been just over 5,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 or coronavirus. The actual number is probably a lot higher than that. And as of yesterday, we had 233 people who have sadly passed away due to the virus. All of the schools in the UK, they have closed. They closed on Friday, just gone. So all the schools are closed. Another thing that has happened is all of the pubs, clubs, bars and restaurants have all closed. The government has told them all to close, and they have put certain other measures in place to try and fight the spread of this virus. Please let me know what is the current situation in your country. Let me know in the comments below, because I know that certain countries in Europe are having a really bad time with this virus as well. So please let me know how you're doing, and please let me know that you're safe in the comments below. So with all of the pubs, clubs and restaurants being shut, it can be hard to find something to do or something to put your energy into. I personally will be spending a lot more time introspecting and meditating and focusing on that part of myself that so many of us we take for granted, or we neglect it. Not exactly take it for granted, but that is the part of yourself which allows you to have a thought, the part of yourself which your feelings, emotions and desires come from, the part of yourself that can't be seen on any X-ray machine, any microscope, or be measured by any measuring device technology that we have in the physical plane. It's the part of yourself that isn't in this dimension, so to speak, and that is your soul or your spirit or whatever it is you want to call it. You can turn inwards and look at that and find peace within. And I hope that more and more people start to do this as they find themselves without all of these external distractions such as pubs, clubs, restaurants. Now is the perfect time to turn inwards. So now we've got all that out of the way, let's get on with some related vocabulary. Okay, so the first vocabulary point is the word quarantine, and we can use the word quarantine as a verb and as a noun. So as a noun, the word quarantine means a period of time or place in which people or animals which have been exposed to some kind of disease or virus are placed to prevent them from infecting other people. So that is the word quarantine as a noun. It's a period of time or a place in which people are placed, or animals, to stop the infection of other people or animals. And as a verb, it simply means to put someone in quarantine. The next vocabulary point is self-isolation, and this is kind of a buzzword that has been used since the coronavirus outbreak. And what it means is to put yourself in quarantine. So an example, in this country at the moment, if you have any of the symptoms or any of the physical attributes of coronavirus, then you are instructed to self-isolate, which means to go home and stay away from other people. The next three words are incredibly similar, but there are slight differences between the three. So the first one is outbreak. So the word outbreak in relation to a virus means a sharp increase in the number of cases of a virus. Then we have the word epidemic, and the word epidemic means an outbreak which affects many people at the same time. So that is epidemic. Then we have the word pandemic, and the word pandemic is an outbreak of a virus or disease which affects a large geographical area. So if it affects a whole country, it's a pandemic. The next two vocabulary points are also very, very similar. So there are two words. One is contagious and the other one is infectious. And the word contagious means transmissible by direct or indirect contact. So it's transmissible by contact, touching hands, or indirect contact, coughing and somebody being in the same area. That is contagious. The other word, which is very similar, is infectious. Now, infectious simply means capable of producing infection. The next vocabulary point you've probably already heard me say several times in this video, and that is the word spread. Now, the verb spread means, for example, if I take this peanut butter and I get some on my knife, and then see this bread, I spread the peanut butter onto the bread. So that is as a verb, but we also use the word spread to describe the infection of disease passing from person to person. So at this moment in time, the coronavirus is spreading in the UK. Okay, and the next vocabulary point is social distancing. And what this means is restrictions or rules that are put in place to restrict or put a maximum boundary of space in between you and another person whilst in a shop, out in the street. So it's basically a restriction or rule on the amount of space in between people to prevent the spread of the virus. So the next vocabulary point was actually a new one on me as well until the other day when I learned it, and it is the word formite or formites. And what that means is objects that are highly likely to carry infection. So for example, a mobile phone is a fomite because if an infected person has been using their phone and coughing on it, there's a high possibility that the virus, the infection, is on the phone. So other examples of this would be door handles, window handles, hand railings that people hold on to. They are all formites. Okay, so let's move on to some of the symptoms of this coronavirus, and some of them are common flu or cold symptoms as well. If you don't know what symptoms means, symptoms is a physical feature which is indicative of a certain type of illness. Symptom number one is a fever, and a fever is a high body temperature. So your body is very hot and warm to touch usually, but it is usually accompanied by shivering. So shivering is when somebody is cold, they shiver. The next symptom is a cough. And a cough is when you expel air from your lungs very quickly with a sharp sound. So that is a cough. The next symptom is a runny nose, and we use the phrase runny nose to describe when the liquid inside your nose is streaming out or flowing out of your nose. We call this liquid inside the nose snot, by the way. But yeah, that's a runny nose, when the snot is running or flowing out of your nose. Another common symptom of many illnesses is a sore throat. And a sore throat means this is the throat, and when your throat is painful inside, usually when swallowing, so that's swallow. Usually you have pain when swallowing and talking and so on, and we use the word sore throat to describe that. Okay, another symptom, and we have two ways to describe this. One is nasal congestion, and the other one is a blocked up nose. And what this means is it's the opposite to having a runny nose, really. It's when the snot inside your nose has built up at the top, usually preventing you from breathing in and out of your nose. We use the word nasal congestion or a blocked up nose. Another symptom is aches and pains, and the word ache or aches means a dull, continuous pain in the body somewhere. A lot of the time you get it in your joints, so in your shoulders, your elbows, your wrist, and it's a dull, continuous pain. We use the word ache to describe that. Okay, and this one is a little bit of a nasty word, but it's the word diarrhea, and we use the word diarrhea to describe when your feces are discharged quickly and usually in liquid form from the body. So when you go to the toilet, your feces are in liquid form. Not a nice word. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned some new vocabulary. It's just a shame that the topic is a rather scary one, and I'm sure we can all get through this if we just do what we need to do. So please stay safe, and I'll see you people in the next video. Bye bye for now. Ciao.